Hey guys, I'm Nate, and this is the first episode of my new YouTube show that I'm starting. This episode is going to be news based, so we're going to be talking about fake news a little bit. It's going to lead into some of the most recent fake news that's been out there. It's this whole Covington Catholic school, Nathan Phillips and Black Hebrew Israelite issue. And we'll get into that a little bit, and we'll see where it takes us. But to start out, everyone knows, we've all heard about fake news. Fake news is a big issue, but one of the biggest parts of it is there will be fake news that gets put on social media like Facebook. And someone might just check their Facebook and see it go through the timeline, and they just see the headline, and they automatically are going to believe it. And then they'll start spreading it, or they'll share it, or they'll see memes. No one looks to see who's posting that stuff. As people that take in news and take in other stuff, like, we need to start making sure that the sources of our information is legit, and we can't just start spreading stuff that's fake, because then we're just as bad as those big news organizations. So what I did is, before I made this video, I watched the whole 1 hour and 45 minutes of the Black Hebrew Israelites recording of what happened that day. So, and then I did my own research and looked at the Washington Post, and that was those are my main sources that I'll be going to for this. And so basically what I ask is, anyone that's watching this, just if you're going to share something, try to make sure that it's accurate. And if it's not, and you accidentally share it, then come back and be like, you know what, I was wrong. I'll tell you guys right now, if I put anything out and I find out that, okay, I was wrong about it, I'm going to say on the next episode, hey, what I put out last time, I was wrong about that. My bad. And I'll tell you what is actually going down. People need to be honest about this. It's not about trying to spread the wrong message just because it supports your facts. And that is happening out there. There are people that they know what they're saying is fake, but it agrees with their politics, it agrees with what they want, and they don't know if everyone else is going to know it's fake right off the bat. So there's people out there, spreading news. People out there, they still think the Onion is actually real. That's satirical. It's supposed to be humorous. So we just need to be careful about what we're spreading and what we're doing out there. And this leads to the issue that happened over the last week. We've seen all the stuff in the news. And if you haven't, basically what was first put out there was a video, and it just showed Nick Sandman. He was standing there with a smug look on his face, kind of smiling in front of this Native American who was banging a drum in his face. And his friends, they all have Make America Great Again hats on, and they're all kind of laughing, it looks like. And it really appeared like they were taunting him. And the video comes out, and he's banging his drum, and they're all kind of, laughing. And so when it first came out, everyone's just, tearing this kid up. Just, oh, he's an awful kid. Has such a punchable face. Mind you, this is a 16-year-old, and the people that are commenting this, these are full-grown adults. Like, you kind of got to wait on it, because all we know is what we've seen in there, which isn't much. We didn't see anything, really. Ends up, it comes out, and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, people on the left are still, some of them are still saying, the kids are in the wrong. People on the right are saying Nathan Phillips in the wrong. What people keep on just skimming over is how it started. And it's this group called the Black Hebrew Israelites. And they'll just kind of swipe over them and say, oh yeah, they were yelling stuff at the Covington kids. They were yelling, calling them names and stuff. And so it just says kind of like they're a radical group. So I kind of thought about it, and I was like, well, let's see. Black Hebrew Israelites, are these guys really like as bad as everyone's saying? And why is everyone just kind of skimming over them? I want to learn more about them. So I watched the whole video, and then I did my own research on the Black Hebrew Israelites. And basically, for those of you that don't want to watch an hour and 45 minutes of this stuff, I'll read you some of my notes that I wrote down. So basically, it starts out with the Black Hebrew Israelites shouting at the Native American group, telling them that they need to stop worshiping buffaloes and animals and worship the Creator rather than the creations, basically preaching what they believe in and saying that the Native Americans are wrong. They're saying, they start yelling at the white kids that with the Make America Great Again hats that are just kind of over to the side, watching, seeing what's going on. They said America's never been great. It's only been great to Peckerwoods, which I guess is a derogatory term. I had actually never heard of that derogatory term for white people. Started calling the black kid that was with the white kids Kanye West, and then actually, other mean things to him as well. Start shouting at the Native Americans again, saying the white man has a foot up your ass, calling them Uncle Tomahawks, saying their head is up the white man's ass. Then they walk over to the school kids and start recording them. And obviously the kids start getting a little bit uncomfortable. The one kid kind of covers up his hat that he had. The full-grown Black Hebrew Israelite calls the kid dusty-ass animals. And the kid awkwardly kind of turned away from him. According to what I gathered from that group of Black Hebrew Israelites, they say Hispanics, blacks, and Native Americans are Israelites. They say the people in Israel are not true Israelites. They are imposters. And the people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, originated in Israel, and they are the true Israelites. They saw a priest, called him a child molester. The guy was just kind of standing there watching. Turned to the group of kids who started getting a little bit bigger. They were further away, though, behind them at this point. Said a bunch of child molesting faggots, faggot president, and a bunch of pedophiles. The kids are pedophiles, by the way, is what they say. They say the Catholic Church, they just kept on going on about the Catholic Church, how bad the Catholic Church is, how Hispanics and blacks have no right calling themselves Catholics because according to their ideology, they're Israelites, and yeah. Let's see, and then randomly they turn around and start yelling at the group of kids. It was starting to get a little bit bigger. Call them dirty ass crackers, racist ass. Then called them a bunch of future school shooters. And the white kids turn around and start walking away. He says he has a picture of Jesus on his board, the Christian Jesus, and says that Jesus, the white Jesus, is a faggot child molester. And the Democrats and Republicans are both just as bad. White people want to be everyone except for themselves. How can we love someone who hates us? Saying that white people and Donald Trump hate them. Started recording the white kids again. The kids are kind of waving at them and calls them a bunch of incest babies. And then that is an hour and 9 minutes in, and that's when you finally start hearing the kids actually start doing their school spirit chants back. And they say, "You sound like a bunch of dogs and hyenas." Then that's finally when all of a sudden Nathan Phillips comes in banging his drum. Out of nowhere, really. He was walking, it seemed like he was quite a ways away. And he starts walking over there banging his drum. The students all start bouncing up with the beat. They're clapping with the beat. And they kind of join in. And then basically it kind of like settles down and it turns into more of a issue between the kids and the Black Hebrew Israelites again. So the Black Hebrew Israelites, that group, I hope would be a radical group compared to members of the actual movement. But I looked it up, and according to the Washington Post, just like they had said, they believe that they are literal descendants of the Israelites that are in the Bible, and they have been severed from their true heritage. Let me see. Leaders had in there, they were describing a end of the world, an apocalyptic end where they will finally be on top, and the white man's reign will come to an end. So I'm not sure if these are the best guys out there. I think that the right wants to blame Nathan Phillips and say that he's a liar and stuff, and some stuff has come out that maybe he wasn't completely honest about, and then the left wants to say that the kids are some of them still want to say that the kids are to blame, and the kids should be held accountable a little bit, or the parents of the kids should be held accountable. And I think that we're kind of missing the point here. I think that the group of adults that was yelling at the kids at the beginning, I think they need to be held accountable if it's anything. I think that they were targeted based on their hats. 100%. That was the reason. They wouldn't have been getting yelled at if it was based on their hats. Now, these are 16-year-olds, so maybe when they purchased the hats, they weren't really thinking exactly like 100%, oh crap, this is going to really cause some issues. I think they were probably doing it a little bit to be funny, and they thought maybe it was funny. They didn't realize it was going to have a lot of consequences. And basically, I kind of want to go over like what's the hat. People say the hat it's not what the hat says, it's what it symbolizes. We need to understand that symbols are different for everybody. And so if we look at the literal meaning of the hat, it says "Make America Great Again." Some people argue that America's never been great, and that's fine. But some people believe it has been great, and it's a nostalgia thing, I think. Think about sports. You know, baseball was always better way back when Pete Rose was playing. Football was better back when there wasn't as many penalties. You know, baseball, they didn't have all this replays. They didn't have the steroids. You know, it was better back then. And it's the same thing with the U.S. It's the same thing with anything. You know, music was better back then. It's this nostalgia thing. So make America great again. America was better back then. It's a nostalgia thing. People like what it was. You know, a lot of people like certain things, what they were. It's a nostalgia. Make America great again. The only reason it has negative effect is because Trump's the one that said it, and he's very hated by so many people. But the thing is, to some people, make America great again is a good statement, and to some people, Trump isn't a bad guy. Why are we always hating on people because of who they like or what they believe? If they're not saying anything negative to you, those kids were not harassing those men. Why are we going after the kids? And I also want to know, why are we holding these kids up to a higher level of accountability than we're holding these men who are like 30s, maybe 40s? And then even Nathan Phillips. When Nathan Phillips was the one that walked over there, his intentions, I believe, he was walking over there and he didn't realize what the kids were doing, and he thought that they were going after the Israelites. And I think what he was doing is he was kind of trying to dissipate the situation, but he has lied about it when he said that he heard them say build the wall, and the only people that were talking about building the wall was the Black Hebrew Israelites. So anyways, I just ask you guys if you could just, before you pass out any fake news, you know, make sure that it's not fake. Look it up, do your research, and then pass it along. And if you mess up, admit to messing up. Say, all right, my bad. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and watch next time. Thanks.